Hello, Meg here from I Teach Stamping, and welcome to the Friday Flip. So the Friday Flip is all about taking one project idea and flipping it into something else. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We're going to start with this card right here, and it's a great card. I love this card, and this is actually one that I did years ago, but it's still sitting on my card rack. I love it. So let's go ahead though and flip it into a Christmas card. So to begin with, we're going to do our stamping, and we're going to be using the Wondrous Wreath stamp set, and I'm going to share with you one of my favorite tips. I'm going to take a pencil and make a little asterisk in the upper right hand or left hand corner. That's what I'm going to line up the extra piece of photopolymer that's from the Wondrous Wreath stamp set with, because it's all about lining it up when it comes to this stamp set. I'm going to start with Pear Pizzazz ink, and I don't want to get the ink into any of the crevices, so I'm just lightly touching it onto my ink pad, and then I'm going to take that extra little piece and have it pointing right at our asterisk. And if you don't like asterisks, go ahead, do a star, do a check mark, whatever you want. No one's ever going to see it. All right, so that's going to give us that one. And then we need to clean this real quick because I need to use the same block. We're going to peel this one off. And we're going to use the next set of leaves that goes directly on top. So when I go to do this part, I normally have to stand right over the project. But seeing as how then you would see the top of my head and not the project, I'm going to try to do this and get it lined up. But if I don't, I have one that is all ready to go. This time we're going to take it, we're going to use Old Olive. And you should be able to see if you've got good ink coverage, but you don't have to really press down hard if you're using one of the I can't talk today, ink pads from Stampin' Up. All right, here's our extra little divot. It's going to go towards the asterisk and then line it up directly on top of the other leaves and stamp. Ta-da! So I did get it lined up perfectly. Yay for me. All right, then we're going to take this, we're going to clean it. Just because with the photopolymer ones, they're going to stain anyway, but I prefer to just clean them sooner rather than later. All right, here's our little holly berries. We're going to do some real red ink. We have the little divot again. Now this one really doesn't matter as far as lining it up exactly. You just stamp. And since we already have our stamps out, let's go ahead and turn to another piece of Whisper White. This one's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and we're going to use Old Olive for our sentiment. And this sentiment also comes from that Wondrous Wreath stamp set. Or stamp it into the bottom left-hand corner. And then I'm going to take a little poinsettia, same stamp set, real red ink. Just add it right there. All right, so now we are all done with our stamping, and the next thing we need to do is our die cutting. So I'm going to be using the framelits that go along with the Wondrous Wreath. Let's go ahead and shift. Once again, we want to pay attention to where our little asterisk is. There's a little divot on our framelits as well, and when we line those up, then you don't have to sit there and spin and spin and spin and spin and try to get them to line up. Same with this one here. We're going to do a straight line, line it up. I'm using the magnetic platform. We'll just zip this on through. Throw it. That always works better when you throw it first. And then boom, you've got your perfect wreath. Love it. Okay, so I don't want to throw that away. I'm going to get some of this out of our way. So what I forgot to talk about was die cutting the joy. So it comes from the same framelits that comes with this. And I did this ahead of time. You want to use your silver Glimmer paper if you want to make it the same way I did and just die cut out that joy. I knew I'd forgotten something. All right, now we're ready to do our punching, and I'm going to start with a piece of real red cardstock that's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/8. And I'm going to get this lined up so that I've got the same amount of scallop on both sides. And I prefer to flip my punches over That way I'm sure to get it lined up perfectly. Then we're going to use this border punch one more time onto a piece of white cardstock. Now I have this white cardstock extra long on purpose because if you don't get it lined up exactly right, when you go to layer them here in a bit, it's just not going to give you the look that we're going for. So anytime I'm going to do layers of borders, I always make one of them longer than it needs to be. Then we just grab our adhesive. I'm going to take the red and drop it onto the white. And then I've got my scallops lined up perfectly. Now I can go back and cut off the excess. And then I don't have all my scallops lined up, nothing is askew. Okay, so now we're ready to just really start putting our card together. The base for our card is going to be Old Olive, 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. Let's go ahead and drop our center, our inside piece into the center there. There we go. Oh, and I brought some extra ink along with me. All right, so now we're going to pay attention to some ribbon. So I'm going to bring in the 10-second bow maker and some of the Whisper White, the Organza ribbon. I always have to stop and think of the name of that one. We're going to do a double loop bow, and when you get the 10-second bow maker, you get access to all kinds of videos teaching you how to do these fancier bows. Take this. Get this one good and tight. Pull it off. Switch to my ribbon scissors. And then I want another piece of ribbon. Love my 10-second bow maker. If you don't have one, go to 10secondbowmaker.com and get yours. Okay, now we've got this. We need our mini glue dots. Just going to do one on each end. And this is just going to wrap around to that back side. When it comes to attaching the bow though, the liquid, or I want to use liquid adhesive. Take this. I'm putting this on right now so that it has time to dry. All right, now we're going to go ahead and play with our wreath. So I'm going to use dimensionals on it. And then I'm going to pay attention to where I want this to be. So let's go ahead and drop this onto our card front. And I want the joy to come right down really to the bottom edge of my card. Or the other thing you can do is have it go across your wreath. I never make the same card twice, so the sample of this doesn't look exactly like this, the one I made to base this video off of. So let's go ahead and move our wreath down. Let's play it up. All right, and let's put some adhesive. Really don't need to worry about the middle as much because it's going to be hovering. Boom. Okay. So here we go. This was our inspiration piece. Our Thinking of You has now totally flipped into a Christmas card idea. I hope that you have enjoyed the Friday Flip. If you like this project, please be sure to like it below and also be sure to share it with your friends. Again, I'm Meg from I Teach Stamping, and have a great day.